What's going on, guys? It's finally here. It's finally back. Baki is returning. This one's interesting because its name seems to match its manga counterpart, Baki Dou. The manga is called Baki Dou. Last season was called Baki Hanma, Son of Ogre, and I believe its manga counterpart was called Baki Gaiden, if I'm not mistaken. At least for the pickle portion. So, we got Baki Dou. The last season of Baki finished the actual story of the series, I want to say, like the main story. While the manga is still going on, this is canon. I want to say, like, this is sort of just, like, DLC material. I think, like, the writer of Baki is just doing whatever he wants with the characters. Because at this point, like, the main story is finished, you know? Like, the final battle that needed to happen, the whole point of the series happened already. So now this is just, like, the characters doing whatever they want now. And I heard, like, there's characters that get stronger than characters that they weren't stronger than before. So, at this point, the Baki series is like a video game. And characters are just getting patches, buffs, and nerfs. You just don't know who's going to beat who anymore. It's kind of funny, I'm not going to lie. But this is different. I sort of know what's happening here. Because I read certain things. I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know the spoiler or of exactly why this is happening. But I did read about this. It's a little ridiculous. Baki Dou, let's watch it. I'm going to play it before I even talk about it. I also want to mention that we did not receive any Baki this year. We got the Baki vs. Kengan movie last year. So that was pretty big. So I don't really blame them for not dropping anything Baki related this year. Awkward looking kick. After the biggest father and son fight on Earth. Just training. The men grew bored. That's crazy. What could shake up the dull and monotone routine? Another battle. Fight Yujiro again. Oh. All that, bro. Just a scrap. So that's a real samurai that they're bringing back to life with science. The legendary samurai, a swordsman. This is insanity. You'll fight me unarmed? So, this is a pickle situation. This is a pickle situation, but it's a little different, alright? It's not really... I'm not going to refer to it as pure historical revitalization, because they're not defrosting. They're not, like, finding his remains, and they're not thawing him out. They're, pretty much cloning him. They found his genetic material and they're cloning him. Now, just because you have the DNA of someone doesn't mean you're them. So, just because you're cloning a samurai doesn't mean like the clone should automatically be a beast at sword fighting. You know what I mean? That sort of doesn't make sense at all. But I'm not going to like make a big deal of it because Baki isn't the only series to do that. Dragon Ball does that. Like, just because Cell has Frieza's DNA, he could do all of his techniques. Like, since one did, like, you know, it's just genetics. It doesn't mean you get all the abilities and, you know, memories of what they learned, you know, because those abilities aren't really a part of their genetics. But here we are, you know, fun fiction. Who really cares, right? Who gives a shit? Here we are, Baki Dou. They're cloning a samurai man. I don't know why this man is scaling above, like, these monsters that can fight dinosaurs. They're making this samurai dude. Because it looks like he's going to give them problems, bro. Like, if they're saying that this samurai is going to stave their boredom, that means he's pretty powerful, right? The only characters that should be bored, in my opinion, are the ones that Pickle did not absolutely just body. Because Kaio Retsu and, what's his name? Kasumi Orochi, they have no right to say they were bored. They got their asses beat by a wall that they'll never overcome, alright? Dopo Orochi, I can understand him being bored because, like, he's not beating Baki. He's not beating Yujiro. Like, the next best thing is Pickle. Who's going to do that? Like, who else is there, you know? Now, I'm actually starting to understand. Yeah, there's people for them to fight that are better than them, but they're so impossible to overcome. Why even try? You know, maybe fuck around with Jack Hanma, maybe. I don't know, but they're all going to mess with this samurai. Apparently, power scaling's crazy, so the samurai might scale to Pickle. I don't see anyone willing to try and fight Pickle again after seeing what happened to Retsu and Kasumi. And if a samurai is exciting them, then maybe you know, there's a good chance that the samurai is just a bit weaker than Pickle. Probably scales to him, but probably a bit weaker, you know? At the same time, he has a sword, so he could do sort of the same damage that Pickle does, you know, in terms of dismemberment. It's not going to be as risky as Pickle because he is using a sword. The cuts will be clean, so dismembered limbs will be reattached. All right, Dopo Orochi, if he gets his arm cut off, it won't be his first time losing a limb and getting it back, you know? Because Pickle, he eats your limb after he removes it, so there's no getting that shit back after that, really. It's quiet after that, you know? So this could be a little different. Now, what would be surprising to me is if this man cut down Pickle or some shit. I'll be like, you mean to tell me this samurai man could cut down someone who's able to fight a dinosaur? I just don't see a katana fighting a dinosaur, but you know what? It's not about the metal or the weapon. It's about the wielder of the weapon. So we're just going to see how legendary the Baki version of this man truly is once Baki Dou comes out in 2026 next year. I'm waiting. Most likely this summer. We'll see. Baki's coming, though. We got confirmation. They let us know. That's what I'm happy about. We're not in the dark anymore.